Australia.
Good morning. Good morning. Not long out of bed for me, so I've kind of just brushed my hair quickly.
Yep. You don't have your face on yet, I see.
It's all the shadowing.
Yeah, you do.
How are you?
Listen, I am excited. We've got some fresh meat on the show today. We've never
Yay.
interviewed this lovely lady that we're going to talk to today out of Virginia. She's here in the U.S. Chris, would you like to introduce Addison for
I
us?
would. I would. This is Addison from Virginia, originally from Michigan, and we've just been here and actually listening to this idyllic farm with bees and geese and chickens and amazing. Welcome, Addison.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, we're excited.
Well, we want
Me
to start
too.
with knowing how long you've been an iridologist.
So I got certified in 2022. I've been practicing since 2020, going through Trinity School of Natural Health. But I got certified with Dr. Ellen Tart Jensen in 22, and I joined IIPA in 23.
Fabulous. Love it.
So you're
Yay.
kind
And
of
what
you're
sorry,
what we
you go
would call a
first.
newbie.
Yeah,
Right.
We love newbies. We
we
love them.
do.
Well,
Full of energy and full of excitement and inspiration. Not that we
Yeah,
are.
it has been wonderful.
That's what we love. That's what we love. So, Addison, who was it that inspired you to get into iridology in the first place?
That would be Beth Hovis. I was listening to an introduction to iridology lecture in a program at Trinity, and at first I thought, there's no way I'm going to understand any of this. But then she started talking about the blue-eyed lymphatics and what their tendencies are. And immediately people started flashing before my eyes, these poster people for this type. And then it happened with biliary, and then it happened with hematogenic. And I had to pause the lecture because I was tearing up because I was so overwhelmed at how almost magical this seemed. And I said, this is it. I joined the program thinking I'm going to be an aromatherapist. I'm going to be an herbalist. That's my interest. I left going, I'm going to join IPA. That's it. That's it for me. This is what I'm doing. This
Well,
is what I'm
thank
going
you,
to do
Beth
for the
Hovis,
rest
for
of my life.
this. Thank you. We're so
Yay.
glad she
Yay,
did
love
that.
Beth.
Yeah, that is awesome. I love hearing that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was overwhelmingly significant. And
Yeah.
so I have been doing that ever since.
So
And
was
so then
was
you
Beth
studied
here
with
in?
Beth.
I'm
Sorry, you
sorry.
studied with Beth and then went on to Alan's course as well.
Yep, when I hit my terminal point with Trinity, I went as far as I could go and immediately got a hold of Dr. Ellen Tart Jensen and said, okay, it has to be you. I need it from you.
And did you go to her classes in San Diego or
Nope,
online?
I did the distance learning because I mean, I homeschool my children. We run a farm. Traveling just isn't always in the cards for me at the
Yeah,
moment. So, nope, I was grateful that she offered that distance education, but then the one-on-one support when I needed it, it was wonderful.
that's great. That's great.
Mhm.
So what was that initial like the initial inspiration to go to Trinity to become an herbalist or a aromatherapist or
So, um, well, I mean, that's a longer story than I think we've got, but I had gotten pretty sick in 2018. I had been running myself ragged, finishing my bachelor's degree in psychology and raising kids and all this other stuff. And I had come down with something, some kind of infection. I'd been to specialists. It was months and months of trying to figure out what was going on. But there was a woman in town locally who was a traditional naturopath through Trinity. And within an hour, she was like, this is what it is. This is how you support yourself. Call me in a week. And within a couple weeks, something I had been struggling with for 6 months, within
wow.
2 weeks was no longer a problem. And so I said, you know what? This is it. This is how we're going to help veterans, like
Yeah.
doing whatever you just did. This is it.
Yep.
So let me go figure out what all this is. I had been in herbalism since 2012, but it
Yeah.
wasn't until 2019 that I said, okay, nope, I need to learn more about naturopathy. So I just went to the school I knew was pumping out really effective practitioners.
Yeah. Great. And I hear you mention the word veterans. So your passion is to help veterans?
Yeah, yeah. While the VA is really, really good and they've got these innovative programs, if even one service member falls through the cracks, that's one too many for me.
Yeah.
These are my people. I am a Marine wife, and since 2008, this is my group of people, and I just see too many being diagnosed with some pretty nasty stuff, not being educated about it, left to their own devices, and they're nervous. They need support. They need answers. They need somebody to hear them and to see them. And naturopathy really helps. And iridology that's it. That's what they need.
Great.
That is
Love
awesome.
it.
I love that.
So Kathy, do you want to do
Oh,
the next
sure,
question?
sure. So Addison, when you're looking at eyes, what to you is your most favorite sign to see in the eyes?
So I love all of them because,
Ooh.
I mean, you guys know, but I would have to say pigments. Because they're so loud. You know, when I went through the education, it was like, okay, this colored pigment means this organ. And if it shows up here, it means that organ is affecting this area. But then physiologically, that's just melanin, right? Laid over top to protect an area of the eye. So here, this organ hits some kind of dysfunction, creates disharmony somewhere else, but it is awfully sorry it did that. So it kind of covers it like, oh, hey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
And I go, the eye just comes alive with every sign, but pigments are just beautiful. I just love pigments.
Oh, I love that.
I love that.
That's a great way to explain that.
I'm going to use that in my classes if I can. I love that.
Absolutely. The eyes come alive. I mean, they really do. Iridology is the perfect example of the microcosm of it all. You do have your reflective or your reflexive areas and stuff like that. But these signs, you get to see little clicks here and there. These signs group together and they hang out over here, and they don't really like to play well with this area over here. And this sign, and it's almost like you're watching groups in a school.
Yeah.
And you get to see their interactions. And I love it. I love it. I'm a
You know
weirdo.
what's funny is when I start teaching, I will tell my students the eye is going to talk to me when I take a
Yeah.
look at it. And at first they're kind of like, uh-oh, what have I gotten myself into? What is this lady going to do?
Right.
But once we start studying and I put an eye up on the screen and I'll ask them this and I'll ask them that, I'll say, now I want you to feel the eye. Just feel it. Be with that eye for just a moment. Become
Right.
one with it. Feel that other eye. And now listen to it. And they'll say,
Yeah.
oh, I get it. I know what you're saying now.
Mm-hmm.
Because I will talk to you.
Yep. And what it says is different to everybody. And we
Yeah.
all, the three of us, could look at the same iris, come up with something different, and people would still get benefit from that.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter what you choose. It doesn't matter which part is speaking to you. What's insignificant to someone else may be super significant to me. And I say, no. This is what this sign is telling me it's doing everywhere else. So if we can resolve that, maybe the rest of it doesn't matter as much.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely. I love that. Well, I think we have reached the place in our interview where we have you pick a number between 1 and 36, and we're going to just give you kind of an off the cuff question based on that number.
I'm probably going to have to go with the number 3.
Number 3. Well, let's get number 3 here.
I think this is a new number.
I got a new number. You know what? This is a good question. We've never had this question before.
Great.
What is your favorite alternative therapy to suggest to your clients outside of iridology?
Well, I don't, it would depend on the person. Some people do better with homeopathy. For example, anxiety tectonics tend to be out of balance, tend to be homeopathic nux vomica types. And so sometimes that works. But if there's somebody who's going to be resistant to energy medicine, then I might go with clinical herbalism. My specialty areas right now are what I'm majoring in another program is holistic nutrition and clinical herbalism. And again, I've been in herbalism for a long time, but it's not for everyone. You know, sometimes somebody just needs a little Reiki. Sometimes they need a Bach flower. Sometimes they need homeopathy. Sometimes it's usually just food.
That's good. Chris, what do you refer?
Well, I was going to say something like homeopathy and herbalism, but it really does depend on the person for sure. But you know what? Most of my clients have some Bowen therapy because I find some physical therapy is really helpful. I mean, obviously they're the people that are with me physically in my clinic, not remotely. But I find that when I'm making up my herbs or, you know, preparing my homeopathics, I might lay them up on the table and just give them some, you know, like an introduction to Bowen therapy for their gut or for their headaches or for, you know, and then I book them in for you know, a proper Bowen therapy session. But I find mixing a physical modality that helps to rebalance the body with the herbs and the homeopathy just is groundbreaking. I love it.
That's amazing.
That's good. I like that.
What do you do, Kathy? What's your favorite?
I think my alternative therapy outside of iridology, I will a lot of times suggest foot reflexology, because a lot of what we've seen in the eye already can be found in the foot as well. And so that's kind of like a twofer, you know?
Yeah.
Because they can actually feel that on the bottoms of their feet. And then it depends on what I have found in the eye. Sometimes I will refer chiropractics, but I know that not everyone is open to chiropractics. They're like, oh, I don't want my neck popped, or I don't want to feel that popping sensation in my body. And so I find that foot reflexology, if you like to have your feet touched, there's some people that don't, but if you do like that, you don't mind that, I find that to be very spot on in what I just found in their eyes. So
that's amazing.
I like to do that.
That's great.
Yeah.
Isn't it great that we all have such different ways of approaching things? Love that.
Right. No, it is amazing.
There's tons more that we could suggest, but
Absolutely.
I asked for the favorite. So that's good. That is awesome. I love that. Well, Addison, we've enjoyed meeting you.
Really
I have been absolutely honored. Thank you so much.
Well, we both wish you great success in Virginia. I love the idea of you helping veterans like that. I think you're on to something. You know what? You've got so much going for you because you're already inspired, and you've got a path, you've got a plan, you've got an idea, you can see it coming together, and everything will just fall in place for you. It's coming. So keep doing what you're doing.
God willing, and the creek don't rise.
Well, you know, that we use that here in Texas too. And you know what? You're going to get there.
What's the saying? God willing and?
The creek don't rise.
The creek.
Love it.
Do you understand it? Do you understand it?
Kind of, yes.
Oh, you kill me. You kill me.
I love it. It's too early in the morning for your Americanism.
You know, Texasisms are, you know, I give you a bunch of Texasisms all the time.
They're a whole other world to themselves.
Yeah, you guys are wild. You're wild.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, yeah.
It's another language.
Yeah, it is.
Well, this has been fun, and we thank you for giving us this interview. And
yes, so thank you for asking me.
Oh, you're welcome. We wish you great success, but you know what? We're going to let you go, and we thank you.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. You guys have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you.
You too.